So we were on the topic of Modern Warfare 2019 and 2022 yesterday, so I figured I'd go back and actually play a little bit of Modern Warfare 2019 to see if it's still worth playing in 2022 and give a commentary and my honest opinions on it and stuff of that nature. Because if you guys don't know, this game was actually a top 3 COD for me. I really enjoyed this. I've been playing COD since COD 4, and this game brought me back into COD after not playing for, I would say, almost nearly 4 years, just not really playing much and playing other games. Still played a little bit here and there, but nothing crazy. And Modern Warfare 2019 ended up bringing me back because it felt more grounded. It felt more like an old school COD experience and what I knew and loved from the franchise. So anyways, what's up, guys? It's Gray here today. We're going to be talking about Modern Warfare 2019, how it holds up in 2022, whether or not the game is still worth playing, and if you guys want to make a honest decision if you want to re-download it or if you want to start playing it again. So let's go ahead and get right into the video. Now, I want to say that my experiences on this game are going to vary heavily depending on a few things: how much time you guys have actually put into the game, when you started playing this game, as well as, I would say, your actual skill level, because the lobbies are going to vary heavily depending on your skill level and things of that nature. So one thing I noticed, I want to go off of that, the higher skill MMR, it's harder to find lobbies in certain playlists, and I know that those playlists are still populated because I see a lot of people still making videos, and casual players, people that are not in the higher echelon of matchmaking, they're able to find people perfectly fine on this game in those playlists. But then whenever I try to search for them, or anyone else that I know that is also in the highest echelon of matchmaking, it is just it's really hard for people to find lobbies in certain playlists. And playlists like that might be 10 versus 10, capture the flag, demolition, all those off playlists that not everyone always plays. A lot of people just play TDM, they play domination, they play kill confirmed, but 10v10 and something like demolition or capture the flag, it might be a little bit harder to find lobbies depending on your matchmaking, because as you guys know, this game does have some skill-based matchmaking, and it's going to try to find a fair lobby for you, or whatever the game deems as fair. So there's that. And then also, if you guys didn't play this game since launch, there's a few things you need to know. So one, a lot of the weapons have been heavily nerfed, but not because of multiplayer, but because of Warzone. So a lot of the guns do not feel the exact same way that they once did on the game, and the main reason for that is because Warzone had a lot of weapon balancing changes, and those weapon balancing changes carried over into the multiplayer. So every single time Warzone has a nerf for a Modern Warfare weapon, it carries right over into multiplayer, and you can directly feel that in this game. So you're going to have to be careful on what guns you're actually picking, because a lot of the guns have been toned back because they want to make more sales for Vanguard or Cold War, so players can go over to those games and level up their guns. And at this point, it's mostly Vanguard, because Cold War weapons have also suffered the same fate for the most part in Warzone. So just keep that in mind. Also, the stim nerf, just nerfs in general, like the stims, the advanced UAV nerf is carried over into multiplayer. So if you call in an advanced UAV and someone's ghosted, they barely show up on your minimap. They show up for a split second, and then they disappear, show up again for a split second when it sweeps, disappear. Really stupid nerf for multiplayer, because the whole point of a 12 kill streak that you went on is supposed to show you where everybody is on your minimap, including the ghosted players, and that's how it worked for a couple years. And now they have nerfed it, or it's a bug, I don't know, but I'm assuming it's a nerf for Warzone. And as a result, you're gonna suffer if you're an advanced UAV lover like me. So you'll have to be you have to adjust to that, or just not run the advanced UAV anymore, depending on what you think is worth it. There's a bunch of other little changes that they've made for Warzone as carried into multiplayer, snapshot grenades, all that kind of stuff. And depending on when you started playing this game, it might be normal for you to see that. So But for someone like me who, I put 42 days of playtime into this game since launch, about 32 of those days was during its 2019 to the end of 2020 before Black Ops Cold War launched. So, I remember this game what it once was in the beginning, and for me it might not be as fun as someone who, doesn't care about the changes or who came along after the changes, because for me, I remember what the game used to play like, how it used to feel, all this other kind of stuff, and I feel that the multiplayer has just kind of become a former shell, or a shell of its former self, I should say, because of all these changes that they have made for Warzone. So I'm really hoping that the next game, Modern Warfare 2, I really, really hope that they do not go this route and they separate the games, Warzone and Modern Warfare 2. And the main reason I say this is because I hate to see the multiplayer have to suffer with the balance changes, because the balance changes are made around Warzone and with Warzone in mind, and not the multiplayer in mind. So it just kind of makes multiplayer feel super chalked. But then again, if you're able to look past all those little mini issues with the game and all the changes they have made because of Warzone, I would say Modern Warfare 2019 is still a very fun experience. I actually did enjoy some of my time playing this game. I just had to use some different guns, such as the Ram 7 here, than what I would normally run. Also, the player base on this game, I'm not able to find a lot of variety in player base due to the skill-based matchmaking system that's in the game. Generally, I'm finding pretty much the same players almost every game, and that's kind of unfortunate, because back in the day I was able to find a lot of different variety. I was able to have a lot more fun with using different setups and stuff, and because the lobbies were fresh and different every single time, you had different play styles. So for me, it's a little bit different than maybe what someone who's just average at the game gets on, plays a couple of games a day might feel. So yeah, definitely it's gonna be a little bit different for people who aren't sweaty on the game. But anyways, in my opinion, is Modern Warfare 2019 still a good game? Yes, I still would say this is one of my favorite Call of Duties of all time. I really love this game. The problem is I've just played it so much, and with all the changes, honestly, I can't even say I played it so much. If the changes that they made for Warzone didn't exist in the multiplayer, I'd probably upload this game again and play it regularly, but I just can't get past the changes that they have made to Warzone and how they carried over into multiplayer, and it just, honestly, it makes the game feel, like I said, a shell of its former self, because this game was once, it pains me to say it, because in my opinion this is one of the best CODs ever made, and I know a lot of people disagree with me, but there's also a lot of people, I would say this, the tryhards tend to disagree with me, but I know that you guys out there who just like to play COD casually and just get on and have a few matches with your mates, or whatever it is, I know you guys are the ones that absolutely love this game, and I'm right there with you, because this game has restored what I once knew and loved about this franchise for me, and I'm really looking forward to Modern Warfare 2 if it's going to be anything like this and improved upon this game, because I feel that this game did have its problems, and in particular the movement speed was a little bit too slow. The guns, the way they changed everything with Warzone and all that kind of stuff. The footstep audio was a little bit too loud. I would like to see, maybe a ninja perk, but I also think if it comes with a ninja perk, there needs to be a proper counter to ninja, whether that be the advanced UAV or some sort of other perk maybe in the same tier that raises footstep audio of people who are using ninja ever so slightly or whatnot. There's got to be some sort of counterplay. The only thing is I also don't want it to be like this game where a lot of people were afraid to move around because of how loud the footsteps were. Back in the day, it didn't really bother me too much, but that was because I hadn't played COD in years, and now after playing Vanguard or Cold War and knowing that there's ninja perks and the overall footstep audio in Vanguard isn't super loud, in my opinion, it creates a little bit more fun gameplay, because you're allowed to move around a lot more without having people just kind of waiting on you and listening to you. So that's just my opinions. Again, I think this game is still great if you want to get into it or you want to keep playing it. but it just depends on your overall outlook of the game. And for me, you know, I really miss what this game once was, and in its current state, it just kind of saddens me because I knew how great this game once was. Anyways, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
I'm saying, like, if you didn't know anything about COD, today was your